YouTube friends, what's going on? It's Richard, founder of Short-Term Rental University and Airbnb Superhost. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about what I look at before I make a real estate transaction. I think this might be helpful for some of you that are either getting started or looking to expand, but if you don't know what other people look at, then are you doing too much or too little? So the first thing I want to talk to you about has absolutely nothing to do with real estate, but we'll circle back to real estate. In the world of finance, which is where I started my career, there's two types of people. There's the equity people, and then there's the fixed income or bond people. And they tend to be very different kinds of people. You see, the equity people really like stories. They like to understand what Elon Musk is doing for Tesla. And then the fixed income people, they're all about crunching numbers and it must tie out mathematically, and they don't really care about the story. In fact, they don't even want to know the story. They just want to do the math. And so these are two different camps of people, very smart people. I knew both people at Wharton, and it's just a personality thing. So the question to start with is, what kind of person are you? Are you a really quantitative person and you want to know all the facts and figures and the numbers? Or are you more qualitative, which is storytelling? It's important to know that, because if you're really into storytelling, you're just never going to be very good at the quantitative, and vice versa. So try and figure out what you care about and how you make decisions. So let's talk a little bit about me. When I was at Wharton Business School, the highest brain power people, the individuals in the most prestigious jobs, were all fixed income. It was like rocket science and math and finance and so on. And so everybody sort of wanted to do fixed income, myself included. And I ended up doing some fixed income, and I did some derivatives, option trading, and so on. But at the end of the day, I'm much more of a qualitative storytelling kind of guy. And in fact, I've never owned a single bond. I don't like bonds. I haven't liked bonds. I don't think I'll ever like bonds, but I love equities. I've made a lot of money trading stocks. And so I'm a storytelling kind of guy. And so for real estate, I started off trying to be very methodical and quantitative. My very first few real estate investments, I really crunched all the numbers. I looked online, there's tons of spreadsheets. I entered it all in, and I tried different calculators and different spreadsheets, and I tried to make the decision based on what the numbers told me. And at the end of the day, because I'm not that guy, no matter what the numbers told me, I didn't really care that much. What I really wanted to do was formulate a thesis. Why this property? Why this location? Why this market? What do I think it's going to happen? And that's just the way my mind works. So my history, my progression has been from purely quantitative, looking at the numbers, trying to make decisions and deals, and much more into the qualitative. I'm not saying that that's the right way for you to do it, but I'm just giving you an example of how I did it. So today, when I look at real estate transactions, and I've done 3 in Jackson Hole in the last 6 months, and I'm looking at many more, including multifamily, for me, it's all about the story. Now, I do in fact check the numbers and I make sure that they make sense, but I do it really quickly, almost back of the envelope, gut feel. How much is the monthly payment? What are the taxes? What are the costs to carry, and the utilities and the expenses and things like that? And then what do I think I'll make? How many nights, at what price point, and what seasonality? And I can do that really, really quickly. And as long as I get within ballpark, meaning like it's not a huge negative number, then I just take a look at the risk assessment and say, how much do I like it? And how much do I believe in the future growth and appreciation of the property? Because that solves a lot of things. And then there's additional flexibility in the way of tax deferrals and tax incentives in investing in short-term rental properties. And that's just gravy. That's like the cherry on top. So here's the takeaway. The most important thing that you can get from this video is to figure out what kind of decision maker you are and how you make decisions when they're really big and filled with risk. Buying real estate could be one of the most expensive investments that you've ever made, and so I can understand the nervousness, the anxiety, the double checking, the triple checking, maybe even panic. But I'm here to assure you that it's really not necessary. You don't have to overcomplicate it. We as humans, we tend to try and make really big, important decisions really complex, and so we spend a lot of time and we struggle and we wrestle, and it's not necessary. Don't minimize the decision making, but instead try and find a way that you can make it so that you're comfortable, because the main thing here is to get started and to take action, whether you're expanding or growing or just getting your feet wet. Don't get paralyzed because you don't have all the answers. There is risk. You can't have all the answers. No model, no fixed income, no rocket scientist, nobody can tell you what the outcome is. You have to take the risk. So make the decision based on the way that you like to think, and I'm here to encourage you. I think you can do it. So get started. So I know this is going to sound really minimalist and people are going to think like it's nonsense and how can you buy so much property and so on and so forth that way. I've been doing it for decades. I have a gut feel, but I want to encourage you to start to do that same sort of process so you don't get slowed up either. So go ahead and leave a comment below. Tell me what you look at, what metrics, what your gut feel is, whatever, share with us. I'd really appreciate that. And most importantly, please like the video and subscribe if you haven't. I'd really appreciate that too. So with that, have a great day.